Hello, I'm Tom Bailey, and in today's episode, I'm joined by Jennifer Dawn, who is a business coach and the founder of Jennifer Dawn Coaching and Best Planner Ever. So, Jennifer, hello, and a very warm welcome to today's episode.
Hello, Tom. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. And whereabouts are you in the world right now?
So, I am in upstate New York, about 100 miles north of New York City, out in the country because I'm a country
Incredible.
girl and I don't
Yeah,
want to live in the city. So, there you go.
fantastic. Thank you so much. And let me just get into the subject then of Jennifer just for a second. So, Jennifer guides entrepreneurs to grow their business, achieve their goals, and contribute on a higher level through both coaching and her consulting services. The title for today's episode is How to Win Happy, and Jennifer's going to show us how to do that in just under 7 minutes. So, question number one for you today is, who are your ideal clients?
My ideal clients are going to be business owners. They are usually business owners who are a little bit frustrated by their business because they've been working really hard and trying to figure it out. They're usually trying to get to their first million, and they're also trying to tap the full potential of their business. They know it's there, but they maybe haven't quite yet figured out how to really unlock that full potential.
Great. And other than being able to unlock that full potential, what is the biggest challenge that they typically face?
The biggest challenge is often time. They just
Mhm.
feel like I just don't have enough time. They're stretched too thin. Often they're very, very overwhelmed. They're in a state of stress. And even for some of them, like their business, it's kind of they've lost that love and feeling. Like
Yeah.
it was great when they first started it, but now as they've tried to grow it, they're maybe not loving their business like they used to. And that's really kind of sapping their energy.
Got it. And what impact does that typically have for them or for their business in the long run?
Yeah, it has a huge impact because they're not really able to work in their zone of genius. They're
Yeah.
stressed out. Maybe they're not hiring the right people because they're not in a good place for themselves, and
Hmm.
then that's just exacerbating the problem and making it bigger. So what's happening is that some of that stress, that overwhelm, that being stretched too thin, that's showing up in their business, and then that's having an effect on the business itself. It's affecting their team. It's affecting their clients, their vendors, all of their different business relationships.
And I mean, what's the ultimate impact? What happens if they don't fix this? What's
Well,
the end result?
if you're a business owner listening to this, you know what that is
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, you're feeling it right every
Hmm.
day. And that's part of why this is called How to Win Happy, because happy people, it's been proven by many studies, are more successful. And why? Because when you're in that better place, that higher place, that better emotional state, you're going to function better, make better decisions, be a better leader, just everything about that higher emotional place is going to be better. So that's why it is so important to look at some of these challenges that you're having in your business, and you're not going to be able to fix them all at once. That's another
No.
problem that I see is like I have these 12 things and I need to fix them and I try to do it all at once, and that's going to that's going to backfire on you. And
Yeah.
so it's right. So it's like pick one thing at a
Hmm.
time and work on one thing, get it done, go to the next thing. So that ability to kind of pace yourself and move through problem by problem until you get them rectified can be huge.
Great. And do you have another piece of amazingly valuable advice that you'd like to give somebody if they wanted to
Uh,
fix this problem?
one of my best advices is advice that I take for myself, which is get help. Find
Yeah.
somebody who's further ahead than you. Find somebody, even though sometimes it might be intimidating to work with somebody who has been there, they've done it, but they're going to shorten your curve so much. They're going to be able to, whenever I meet with my coach and he can say, oh, Jennifer, hello, danger zone, when you're over here doing this, and he can point that out to me. And then I come with an open mindset and I want to listen and I want to learn. That's probably one of the best piece of advice. Is it's one of the hardest things. I think entrepreneurs, sometimes we think we have to suffer alone and do it
Yeah.
ourselves and have all the answers. Just toss that out the window, check your ego at the door, find somebody, do the research, find somebody who's ahead of you, you have a good rapport with, and get the help that you need and don't suffer alone.
Great. And I'm sure you've got lots of help you could give to people listening to this. So, what is one valuable free resource that you might be able to share with people to help them solve this problem?
Absolutely. One of my favorite resources is called Profit First. It's
Hmm.
not an accounting system. It works with your accounting system. It's actually a cash management system, and it helps to put a real structure into the finances of a business, but
Great.
it does it in a way that's super easy to understand. You don't have to be a CPA or know all your financial statements back and front. It's like a really easy 1, 2, 3 system. And so if you visit my website, which is Jennifer Dawn Coaching / profit dash first, you can also go there from the homepage. Just scroll to the bottom, you'll see a big box for Profit First, and you click on that. I'm actually giving away the first 5 chapters of the book. So it's based on a book that was written by a gentleman, Mike Michalowicz, and just a wonderful system for cash management. And if you can put some structure and some ease into your finances,
Mhm.
that generally will help ease a lot of other pain in the business.
Yeah, fantastic. So jenniferdawncoaching.com / profit first. And I'll put that link below this episode so people can click that and get access to those 5 chapters. Now, going slightly off topic, we could say, what is your greatest failure that you've ever made, either in life or in business, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, so I would say one of my greatest failures. So I built my software company. I didn't want to do software anymore. I went through a
Hmm.
divorce and I just wanted to change. And so I turned around and I bought a log home company of all things because I was like, I
Okay.
want to do something different. And
Yeah.
the people that I bought it from, I vetted it, but the real estate market had fallen completely out, bottomed out that year. And I ended up having to open and close my doors within the period of a year. So
Yeah.
for me, it was a huge failure. I was
Mm.
just like, I'd never had a business that I had to actually close the doors. And I went from having cash in the bank to being $178,000 in debt. I'll never forget
Wow.
that number.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So definitely a massive failure. However, I learned so much. I learned
Yeah.
so much about buying a business, about closing a business, about vetting and doing your due diligence when you buy a business. I learned probably the best lesson I've ever learned about getting out of debt. It required me to go hire a coach and to get some help and to do that hard work to get myself like completely out of that debt hole. And that's one of my favorite lessons I'm so grateful for, because now when I work with business owners looking back, I'm like, I've been in their shoes. I know how hard it is, but I also know it's overcomable. Like you can get out of this and you can do it if you're diligent. And now I have the tools and the strategies to be able to help them do it. So
Right.
awful lesson at the time, but looking back,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah. An expensive lesson to learn, but you've got a return on your investment, I think. So it's
Yes.
been worthwhile in the long run. And finally, from me, what is the one question that I should have asked you that will also add some great value to our audience today?
Absolutely. So I think that question would be like, when you're dealing with adversity, which we
Mhm.
all deal with, like, how can you win happy through that, right? How can you pull that good stuff out of it? And for whatever reason in my life, many of my best lessons have come through adversity,
Yeah.
where I did go get help and I hired a coach and they ended up being terrible. I've had mostly good coaches, but every
Yeah.
now and then, like, you get a bad one and it's just like, oh, but even though, you hired a coach and they were terrible, I was able to turn it around and still be like, but wait a second, look at how many great things I learned about what never to do to my clients. And so I consider that a value. And so I would say, whatever you're faced with in life, if you can emotionally separate from it just a tiny little bit and sit down and look at it and try to get some perspective on it and just ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I pull from this? How is this helping me be stronger? How is this helping me be better?
Hmm.
Whatever adversity is going on in your life, if you can learn how to flip it around and make it work to your advantage and use it to propel you forward, it's one of the best ways that you can win happy.
Fantastic. And that's just a subtle change in perspective in most cases. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And Jennifer, thank you so much for your time again today, sharing such great value. And I'm really looking forward to getting this one out there to our audience.
Awesome. Thank you.